Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about my graduation experience. I don't know if some of you know, but I just graduated from high school. Woo! So glad I don't have to deal with high school stuff anymore. Oh my god. For all of you future grads and people who haven't graduated yet but are graduating this year, I'm going to tell you about my experience at graduation. It might be similar to a lot of you, but could be a lot different. So my experience all started when we had to go pick up our cap and gown at school. I don't know if some of you had yours delivered to your house, or I don't know how that worked, but we actually had to sign for our cap and gown at school and wait in this long, ridiculous line of people wait for our cap and gown. Now when I got to school, little did I know it was going to be such a long line, and we live in Florida, so it's very humid and hot outside. That was something. So I was all the way in the back of the line, and then you know when people have their friends and then they go and skip the line because they have friends in line and stuff? Well, yeah, that's how it was. And I got skipped a lot, so it took a long time for me to get it. We had like 7 stations to go to before we actually got our cap and gown, and they were like clearing your obligations and for clearing everything that you owe to the school or your textbooks or whatever. That was that. They have you try on your cap and gown just to make sure that everything fits and stuff, and I kind of tried it on and I just put it on and I was like, okay, yeah, this fits, and then I just took it off. I didn't really feel like trying it on in front of all of my friends. I don't know how I feel about that. So when I got home, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try on this cap and gown. I put on the gown first, and oh my god, when I put it on, I looked like a football player. I was like, what is this? Like, I'm not trying to be a football player right now. They have like pads in the gown. They looked weird on me because I don't have broad shoulders or anything. I'm more like narrow. My cap looked ridiculous on my head, and I don't know if it was just me just looking at my cap on my head, but it looked really weird. It just looked like I had a cone head and then there's a big square on my head. But who cares? Everybody had to do it. Here's a picture of me in my cap and gown. It's very, very cute, isn't it? As I said before, we live in Florida. That means it's really hot and humid in the summertime. So my friends and I decided that we would take pictures at somebody's house before actually going to graduation because, you know, we have to turn in our gowns right after graduation, so we wouldn't have time to take pictures after. So we decided to take pictures before. It was just so hot and humid, and it was like 12 o'clock, so the sun was at its highest, and we were all sweating in our gowns, and it was just like just before we got there. Here's a picture of all of us together. Aren't we cute? When we got to the place, it was packed because we had our graduation at a college, and there had just been a graduation before us, and they were already evacuating people like out of the parking garage. And the parking garages were full, and the parking garage was actually like a mile away from where we had to go check in. Upon finding a parking spot and getting through all those ridiculous people, we finally found one, and then we had to walk all the way to this mother freaking building. Mind you, I'm in heels and everybody else is in heels, and we were late. So yeah, we're sweating even more. Our school was so unorganized because when we got there and we had to check in, we actually had to pick up our little cards that you have to hand them to say your name. Everybody was just piled up like in front of this little table that everybody had to pick up their names. I was waiting there for like 30 minutes before we actually went in, and it was really hot, so we're sweating even more. So once we finally got the cards, we got to go in and find our seat before we were actually like walking in front of all the parents and family and stuff. So then that's when I put my stuff under the chair. You could do that. I mean, nobody's gonna take your stuff or anything. They didn't take my stuff. When it came time where we had to actually walk in front of all the parents, we had to line up in the hallway, and these hallways are about yay big. They were so hot. They were so hot, and they even had these big fans that were supposed to cool us off, and these air conditioning tubes that were like blowing out air. Our class was too much, and everybody's hot breath was just making it even worse. And we actually had to wait there for like 15 minutes before we walked in, and funny story, before we actually walked in, there was like a water fountain like right before, and everybody was walking really fast, and I took a quick drink in the water fountain, but I forgot to pull my hair back, and my hair actually went inside the water, and then I splashed it all over myself, so I was like, wow. Now, that was a fail. So I had like water all over my gown when I walked in, but thank God it was like dark, so whatever. Nobody noticed. Except for that one piece of hair that was not curly than the rest of it, so. After we got everybody situated and everything, like everybody was sitting down and just relaxing, usually like they give speeches, like the valedictorian, salutatorian, and like the principal. All those speeches took like about an hour before they actually started calling out names. My last name starts with a T, so I was one of the last people to go up. I mean, I didn't mind because you were kind of like, you had something to look forward to instead of just going up on stage and getting your award and then sitting down and waiting for everybody to get their award. You're like, is it over yet? When it was finally time for us to go in, I was actually pretty nervous. Like, I'm not good on stages. Before we went on stage, they took our picture in the hallway. One was in front of like just a black background, and then the other one was in front of American flag. And then we finally got on stage and you hand them your little card with your name on it so they can read it to everybody. Right after I handed the lady my card and I shook like this guy's hand, my ears, they just didn't work. Like, I couldn't hear anything. I was just focusing to myself, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. It's good because I don't think anybody fell that day, so that's good. Then your principal shakes your hand and gives you your diploma. So they hand you this thing and it says your high school's name on it. And then when I looked at it, I opened it and I was like, oh, there's nothing in here. You pick it up on your way out because how would they keep track of everybody's names in order, you know? Yeah, they hand you this thing and then you go downstairs and there was actually a guy helping us down the stairs, like holding us the entire way so you don't fall, so that's good. I liked that idea. So after everybody got their diploma case, we did the little turn the tassel thing and then you throw your caps up in the air. Nobody was doing it and I was very upset. I was like, why isn't anybody throwing their caps in the air? I think it's mostly because most of the girls, they decorated their caps. I didn't decorate my cap because I forgot, so. Oh yeah, so I threw my cap in the air and it landed in like 2 rows ahead of me and it hit this girl in the head and it knocked her cap off. It was so funny. When you're in the back of the row, like when you're at the end of the line like I was, you get to leave early typically because you're in the back and then everybody backs out, you know what I mean? So I got to leave first, and then when you go in the hallway, you just toss your gown in the little boxes that they have and you pick up your diploma and then you leave. And then it was really hot outside and then you meet up with your family and then you take pictures and then you can leave and go wherever you want. So we went back home and had like a little graduation party. And my friends came over later after they hung out with their families. And oh my god, I was starving. By the time we were out, I was so hungry because I didn't eat anything all day. I was like focusing on getting ready and like making everything perfect and stuff. But yeah, that was pretty much it. That's my experience on graduation. If I had to sum it up in 3 words, I would say long, hot, and rewarding, I guess. But it is something that you wouldn't want to miss. Trust me, when you're older and wiser, you'll be like, dang, why didn't I go to graduation? That was like one of the milestones of my life. Go to graduation. That is one tip for me. Tips for future grads. 1, wear comfy and light clothing if you live in a hot state or country or whatever, because it will get hot. It's in the summertime, especially if it's humid outside. You want to wear something light. Guys, I don't have any tips for you because you always have to wear long sleeve shirts and pants, so sorry. Spray your hair with lots of hairspray, especially if it's humid outside, because I curled my hair and by the end it was straight like this. So eat before you go. Make sure you eat something before you go. Remember, you're gonna be in that room for over 2 hours if you have 600 kids in your class like I did. You are going to be hungry. Don't think that breakfast is gonna hold you over for the entire day. Also, a good tip is to bring a water bottle with you, just so you don't get dehydrated throughout the thing, because it's gonna be hot in the hallway when you're lining up and everything, and there's gonna be a lot of people in the room. Or if you're outside, same thing, it's gonna be really hot. So I would just say bring a water bottle, and right when you get to your chair in the beginning, just throw it under your chair and then you'll have it the entire time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for new videos every Friday. I am trying so hard to do videos every Friday, so please bear with me. I am on summer break right now, but I'm still working and trying to get all my senior stuff done. Graduation is out of the way, obviously, so I'll pretty much have some more time. If you want to see any more videos from me, just please leave it down in the comments. Let me know when you are graduating. Just leave it down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye! See, don't I look so great, beautiful, fantastic?